So everybody, ignore. I don't even care about the hair now. Let's get into this video. So. I sort of want to do these videos sort of weekly if possible. But before we get into it, next door being very loud. That's fine. They're having a good laugh. There's an old lady out there that's just chatting bollocks and it's making me absolutely crazy. It's incredible. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We are getting towards that 15k mark. We'll be there soon, lads. We will be there soon. Where are we now? I've actually got another rules. We're on 14,000 and we're 2 away from 400, so I'm just going to call it 14.4. 600 subscribers away from 15k, and that is incredible. So let's see how many of you aren't. 50% of you are not subscribed to the channel. What's going on, boys? You need to subscribe. Right. Without further ado, let's get into today's videos. So I'm going to be doing these sort of hopefully weekly videos, hopefully coming out on like a Monday or a Tuesday, where I detail to you about the game that I've just played in Sunday League, how it went, what happened, a few key moments, my overall thoughts of the game, and my overall thoughts on my performance. But I also want to give like either props or not props, I don't know what the opposite of that is, to the opposition and tell you how I think they played. So we played Codner Athletic. Now, if you guys haven't been following me or don't follow me on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram or anything like that, you will know that a certain somebody plays for Codner. Yes, he does. It was confirmed today, and I did actually get to meet and have a photo with the certain someone. He was a lot more awkward in person than I thought he'd be. I thought, well, it's not actually surprising because he's quite an awkward person. This is Cal the Dragon we're talking about, just in case you're not aware. But we got there, and then they started warming up, and we hadn't even got changed yet. And then we sort of like walked past the pitch, and we were like, oh my god, it's actually here. And we were just like, that's class, that's all we wanted. But yeah, so we get changed. I had a photo with him after the match anyway, but yeah, he's a little more awkward in person, but that's fair. You know, I'd like to say I was quite respectful and said, any chance to get a picture? And he went, yeah, of course. So I just had my picture taken and I inserted like here, no, here. Yes, that is me and Cal the Dragon. But yeah, so I play for Derby Highlanders. This is our first pre-season friendly. Now going into the match, we didn't have a goalkeeper. Yeah, didn't have a goalkeeper. We didn't have any centre backs, or at least we didn't have any natural centre backs. We did play 2 people at centre back that I think could do a job. They're just not brilliant. And like I say, they did sort of do a job, but they weren't brilliant. But outside of that, everyone sort of knew their positions quite well, and I think it was fair to say that the game, in my eyes, actually went very well as like an overall thing. Well, we'll get into it, and we'll start speaking about it. So the first half, like I say, we've never played together before. This is our first match. Obviously, a few of the lads had played together last season. There's plenty of new people. As an actual squad itself, at this moment in time, is a lot of individuals, but we were starting to sort of get there and understand each other and how people play and the names and shit like that. But a relatively new squad compared to this Codner team, which has what I'd consider like, or from my understanding of what I was speaking to a few of them about, because you do chat to them while you're playing, there was like a good core group of players that already played. However, because of Cowell's influence over Codner, they had quite a few players come down to sort of play. So again, they're not entirely as new as we are, I wouldn't say, but they were. There were still a few players that were sort of trying to hit the ground running, trying it out, see how it felt. Sort of that. Oh, that's what pre-season friendlies are about, aren't they? Anyway, kick off. It was our kick off. I kicked off. So I'm just gonna run through the team. So we had, I can't remember his name, and I'm sorry for that, but this guy went in goal. He's actually a centre midfielder. He played in centre midfield in the second half, but we had a guy in goal. There wasn't a keeper. We had Kenneth at left back, two centre backs of Brownie, and I want to say it was Afang, something like that. And then right back it was, and I always forget this geezer's name and I don't know why, but it's just a geezer at right back. And we had three midfielders of Adam, who obviously is the guy that, you know, when I do my football videos, he's in that a lot. He's the one that edits them as well. Who else was in there? A guy called Pikey Mikey. That says everything you need to know about Mikey. And I want to say his name was Sam. His name was definitely Sam. Number six. He was a solid player, and I don't think he came off the pitch at any point. If I'm being honest, he was a great player. We had Shannon, so my best mate Jay. We had him on right wing. I was up top, and we had Addy left wing. So play 4-3-3. 2 minutes into the match, they play a through ball through our defence. Obviously, no defenders, and Pikey Mikey put in what I'd consider was a solid challenge. And you know what? I'm sticking with this. He won the ball. He definitely won the ball. I don't actually think there was any debate about whether he won the ball. It was just more of his follow through, and he caught the player. But it's Sunday League. As long as you get the ball, you got the ball right. But this ref gets it as a penalty. So we're like 2 minutes in, and we concede a penalty. We concede the goal. Then about 10 minutes later, they play a really nice through ball, and they score. I don't really think there's much to say bar the fact that coming up to half time it was 4-0 to them. And this is the levels we're talking about here, boys. We had Adam, who was playing a blinder in midfield. Adam is genuinely a solid midfielder. Like, he's loud, he's commanding. He's like a pure Jordan Henderson meets, who plays incredible through balls at this level. I don't know, but he can pick a pass and he does it well. But we just, for some reason, Mikey in the midfield just seemed to be very panicky and very sort of like oofing the ball about and not really being very composed. And I mean, again, it's Sunday League, you can't really be composed. But half-time game. Carl Dragon isn't playing at this point, he's on the bench, don't worry about that. I'd consider myself having somewhat of a decent game. You know, I had probably one or two chances. And I don't actually think I had any chance in the first half. But I'd set a few. Actually, to be fair, I played an absolutely blinding left-footed through ball through to Shannon, who could have hit it, but he decided to take a touch and then just sort of run out of steam, and then players got back and whatnot. But other than that, I felt very isolated. Shannon was far too wide on the wing. Addy was far too wide out on the other side. So at half-time, I'd come off at this point because it's roll on, roll off. So I was like 35 to 40, something like that, minutes in. And they were like, alright, Luke, come off, put Martin up top. Now, how can I describe Martin? He's like a Scottish Berbatov in the fact that he's just pure lazy. And doesn't do anything. Doesn't speak. Doesn't do anything. So I said, when I came off, I said, if Martin scores and I didn't, I'd cry. I'd be fuming. Right? So anyway, 35 minutes I've come off, Channing came off, and they put another two players on, and they put Martin up top, and then I think Pikey Mikey went in goal. He did, yeah, he went in goal, and that other guy came into centre mid instead, and he played very well. He played very well in midfield, I'll tell him that. Like, our midfield was like, the actual issues in the first half was all down to the midfield. But the players, like I'd say the best players that played were in midfield in that first half. It was just a case of nothing really quite worked. I felt quite isolated in the middle. The wingers were way too wide. They were literally like on the line. Now, if you know anything, don't like travel down the line, because then you can only go one way. Come 5 or 10 yards inside the field, and then when you're running at someone, you've got left or right. Otherwise, they're just gonna know exactly where you're going to go. And it was just way too isolated. Anyway, So 30 minutes in, like I said, I came off, got to half time, we were 4-0 down, wasn't happy, and we just sat and had a conversation like, look, what's going wrong, boys? Where's the issues here? And we sort of said like, look, the midfield isn't necessarily working the way we want it to. So this guy called Mark came on, and he played more like a Kante role, just sweeping up any loose balls, like from there and out. There was Adam and Sam that sort of played, sort of rotating around like this, with him. Like Mark was sort of sat behind, and Adam and Sam were just sort of rotating. Like when one had the ball, they'd sort of push on, look for a ball out wide or through the middle, and then try and join in on the attack. Whereas the other two would sort of sit back and mop up any loose balls after that. And I'm telling you right now that Mark had a great game. I don't think he came off after that because he was incredible. He was the one player that me and Adam sort of sat and had a chat about on the way home, and was like, he surprised me. Like, he was good to the point where he went completely unnoticed. But because me and Adam have sort of got slight footballing brains, we understood that what the role he was doing, he was executing it well. And I think that's the issue that I was trying to describe earlier when I said that we had a good bunch of players in the midfield, but none of them were actually doing their jobs well. They're good, but they're not doing the job that we need them to do. Whereas when we had the other midfield three of Adam, Sam and Mark, it actually worked. It worked very well. Now, another lad called Sam, he went to left wing at some point. We had, I'm not sure who it was. Yeah, we had Martin up top. And then second half came, and Martin got very lucky. The ball sort of bounced to him, but he had a great finish and he scored. And I was just there like, so there might be a TikTok on Derby Highlanders TikTok coming out, because Shabazz, who's our sort of like owner of the club, who was also running the line at some point, he grabs his phone and goes, "What were you saying? What were you saying?" Like all in my face. And I was like, I said if Martin scored, I'd cry, because Martin probably won't see this, but I don't like him. I find him a bit weird. He doesn't really talk. He doesn't really do anything. And I was like, if he's the player that scores, I'll cry, because I've been busting my arse off up top with no actual like service. And if he comes on and gets a lucky goal, and that's exactly what happened. So I had the camera in my face, and I was like, for fuck's sake! And we were all reacting, and we were all giggling and having a laugh, because you know you're there to have a bit of fun and have a laugh, right? So Martin scored. Then about 5 minutes later, Sam, who's the left winger, sort of goes on this darting run. I think he takes a shot, and then it falls to Martin and he scores again. And I was like, bear in mind, I'm still on the bench at this point, because, you know, we've got to give everyone a chance. But the thing is, we're still not impressed. Martin scored 2 goals and we still weren't impressed with him, because he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't working. He just cropped up. I don't know if that's the sign of a good forward, but it wasn't good. You can't rely on that in Sunday League. You can't just rely on him to crop up every so often. So, who was it? Someone said, "Oh, I need to come off." About 15 minutes into the second half, our right winger, who I said he played very well. Like in training, all he tries to do is these like little flicks and tricks and skills, and I'm just like, and it's frustrating. And we said, look, stop the flicks and tricks, and you're actually decent. But then he keeps doing these flicks and tricks, but then in the game, he wasn't doing any of it, and he played very well. But then he was like, no, I need to come off, I'm knackered, I'm hurting. And then Brownie looked at me and was like, look, do you want to go right wing? And I was like, I'll go right wing, yeah. Bearing in mind, by the way, at this point, my friend Gurjot, he's never played in a team before, right? He's not a footballer by heart. I'm telling you right now, he played out of his skin. He was the one player that genuinely surprised me in terms of like actual quality. Because I was like, I thought he was going to go into tackles a bit timid and a bit weak. Gurjot put everything into that. And if you're watching, you might be watching. You genuinely played out of your skin at right back. Like, I don't think I've seen a right back performance as good as yours for a Sunday League player. Like, it was good. I'm telling you right now, it was good. You were timing your tackles well. You weren't just jumping in and 2-footing dickheads like people said we were going to do, which was sort of the plan, but that never goes to plan, is it? But it's one of those where he was just good. So anyway, I come on at right wing. I'm up against their left back, who's not very. He wasn't even bad. He was very good. I just don't think he's a left back. I don't think he's a defender by heart. And then at this point, the team has started picking up well in the second half. Like I said, we had a much better defensive sort of midfield role, and then we had two midfielders that were rotating relatively well. So we were playing like a 4-2-3-1 in the end with two defensive mids. But one of the defensive mids was only defensive minded, whereas like Adam picked up the ball and sort of drove forward, or Sam picked up the ball and drove forward, and they rotated very well between themselves. And like I said, communication is key, so that was good. I come on, and bearing in mind, Kenneth was still at left back, and Kenneth is a good baller. He is a good baller. He just tries a little bit too much sometimes. Again, typical Sunday League footballer. But I'm telling you right now, he can pick a pass out. And then I was in the right wing. Martin was up top. And you know what? I said to Sam, come a bit closer, play a little bit closer, and we'll find the space. You can hit the channel when you want to, and then we'll come over with you. But if you're closer, we can keep an eye on you, and you're not isolating us. Because obviously by that point, maybe the winger, I was like, okay, I'll make sure I'm staying like 15 yards away from Martin max, so that when he has the ball, he's got an outlet. Ball gets played through to me. What happened? I can't remember my first goal. I can't remember how I scored it. Oh, I can, yeah, no, sorry, the ball gets played through to Sam. Adam plays his sick ball all the way through. Or it might have been Sam that played the ball through to Sam. Left winger takes on one or two players, plays it across goal and I tap it in. It was a tap in. Fair enough. I thought, I've got a goal. You know, now I can progress. Because for a striker's mentality, getting that first goal is key. It always is. We always say it. Like, no matter what level, getting a good goal or getting a goal is key to sort of push on to get a few more. And that's when I was like, you know what, at right wing, I'm actually liking this. And by this point, our other right back had come back on. Gurjot, who was playing at right back, was in goal. And then Mikey went up front. So he'd played striker, midfield and goalie this game. There's levels to this Sunday League, lads. And so, yeah, by this point, Mikey was up top and it was a lot more aggressive. Mikey, he did alright up front. He was a lot more sort of, get your head on it, lads. And he was a bit more aggressive with it, but I think he's just quite aggressive. And then, my second goal was class, I'll say that for a fact. Because the ball got played into me, I think I played it to someone else, and the ball got played through towards Mikey, or it actually might have been Sam that had made like a run through. And I was sort of like, there's no way that I'm going to sprint past him for him to play a ball to me for me to score. But I know he's going to want to try and take it on himself because there's a gap there and he's going to run into it. So I thought, you know what, and I say this, and I meant it. What I did, I meant, and they even said to me like, your vision with it was very good. Like I could see the fact that you'd calculated what you'd done. So I sort of held my run, probably about 5 yards behind him, and both of their defenders sort of lunged in and dived in, and the ball just bobbled out of his feet. He fell over them. They were both on the floor. I sprinted through and goal. It was one of those where like I thought, you know what, I'm going to hold my run and see what happens, because anything can happen on Sunday League, anything can happen in football. The ball bobbled, I took a touch, and my striker instinct said, boot it bottom left corner. Just laces through it, low and hard. Keeper's not getting near it. But I looked up, and the keeper were like 5 yards to my left. It was almost, like on FIFA when you like control your goalkeeper and move him. He'd done that. He'd sort of sidestepped a little bit, and I sort of went, oh okay, and I just passed. Well, I say pass it into the goal. It sort of went in the air a little bit because the pitch was bobbly as fuck. But it went in, and I was like, second goal, perfect. Now, the referee, I'd say, had a good game. There was a few calls that he made that was a bit dodgy, in my eyes. But overall, for a Sunday League referee, I think he did very well. And he was keeping up the game well, he was communicating very well, and like I say, it was good. He wasn't the worst ref we've ever seen. Up until this one point. Now I might be getting my chronological, I might be not in order with what I'm saying, because I think this actually happened before I scored 2 goals. So, take your mind back to when I just go on the pitch. Anyway, ball gets pinged over from the left back to me on right wing, and I find myself in a little bit of space. So, perfect touch. Take a lovely touch out of my body, and there, left back comes towards me. I sort of feint one way and go the other way. He's gone. See you later, mate. Take a nice touch, and I'm thinking, I've been up against this centre-back all game, and don't get me wrong, he's not rapid, but he's relatively fast, and I think, you know what, if I can just get him on the wrong foot and push it past him, I think I've done it. So I've done it again. I've sort of feinted one way, he's twisted his body as if I'm going to go that way, I'll push it past that way. So I do. As I do that, the guy that I've just skinned fucking wallops me. He just like swipes at my legs. And I ride the challenge. I don't go down at all, because I thought, if need be, the ref's going to blow. Bearing in mind, I've just pushed it past, so I sort of ride the challenge and fucking pace past this defender, because I'm rapid. You guys don't understand that I'm rapid, right? So I pace past this defender. I go to shoot. Fucking shoot, right? And the ref goes, foul. And I'm like, I'm in a goal fucking scoring opportunity here. I could have had a goal. And then I was livid. I turn around. Bearing in mind, I turn around. The defender's like 4 yards away from me. The left back is about 20 yards away from me because I've already skinned him. I've already run past them both. Then he blows. And then he sort of comes up to me and goes, or the ref does, he goes, sorry mate, I didn't think you'd actually get past that centre back. And I'm like, well, why don't you wait then? Wait to see if I do it. If not, come back for the foul. Just say no. No advantage was played. I fucking skinned the defender. All I want to do was boot it at the goal and score a goal. Anyway, we have a free kick. We missed the free kick. Adam had a poor free kick. It was bad. It was bad. Anyway, it then comes up. So now, at this point, Martin scored 2, and I've scored 2. So it's 4-4 at this point, and it's like 10 minutes to go. And we're like, we were 4-0 down, lads, we're 4-0. Adam's shouting at us to just drop back and hold the draw. Anyway, Adam sort of picked the ball up. He plays it might not have been Adam, it could have been Sam, it could have been any one of them in midfield. It was Kenneth. I know it was Kenneth because it's the ball. This is why I say you can ping a ball. He plays this sweeping through ball on the ground, just fizzes it. I take a lovely touch out my body. The defender then goes to tackle me, and it rebounds off me. Now, I will admit at this stage that it may have hit my hand on multiple occasions. It might have bubbled up and hit this hand, and then I went to push it forward with my momentum. And I actually thought the ref would blow. He doesn't. I've then rode the challenge and gone over this guy. Through on goal. Not through on goal, there's a guy coming to my left. No, guy coming to my right. And I sort of look up, and the goalkeeper's gone way out by this point. He's proper closed down the angle, and I'm like, I could dink him, I could try and go around him. But I can see my mate Addy, who obviously it's his first game as well. He only came down to training last week. I took him in my car today to the football. He's a lovely guy. So I thought I'd square it. And then he scores to make it 5-4. And then they're screaming. They're like, fucking handball. And the ref goes, no, it's his chest. The rest behind me, I don't know how you've seen it, is like, from my view, I thought it hit his chest, his arms were up here. Oh shit. He said, from what I could see, his arms were right here. So he wouldn't have been able to hit it with his hands. And I was a bit like, I started rubbing my belly. I was like, yes boys. Pretending it. Fully shit ass that. I could have had a hat-trick, but I played the pass. We ended up winning 5-4. Now, a few other key moments from that second half, because Cal the Dragon came on at second half and played the whole half. telling you now, Cal the Dragon is not as bad as it looks. There are some key points to his game that are actually quite commendable. He can hold his line very well. Don't get me wrong, he's not fast, but he's not slow. I know he might run a bit gangly and a bit weird, but he's alright. And again, relatively impressed me, given the fact that he's shitty Sunday League anyway. But fair play to the lad. He's actually not bad. And I'm saying that's coming from me. That's coming from me. He ain't bad. He's not incredible. Now, one goal that they should have scored. The ball gets played through. Cal the Dragon runs onto it. Hits it, bottom corner. Goes in. Our linesman puts the flag up and the ref goes, yeah, definitely offside. I saw him offside. Obviously I was at the other side of the pitch. I don't necessarily think it was offside. I think that Cal might have run past a player as the ball had already been played, if I'm being honest. However, it was given as offside and Cal didn't get the goal. But it was a lovely finish. It was a proper striker's finish, to be fair. And like I say, he might make cringy TikToks. He might look a bit gangly and a bit funny at times, but fair play to him. He stuck with it. He's probably doing more than you are right now. And fair play to the lad. He wasn't bad. Now, Codner as a whole, their team was very good in the first half. I don't necessarily know what happened in the second half. I think they sort of gave up, or they were just really unfit. Now, I thought we were unfit. I think they might have been really unfit. Or if you've ever definitely been out the night before. But I was burning past these centre-backs. I forget. Do you know what? It's not until I'm in a situation where I've got a bit of energy, the ball gets played through, and I get to sprint, or I've got the ball at my feet, I can take a couple of touches and just push it past a defender and run past. I forget how fast that I can genuinely be. Like, I'm rapid. So, yeah, it ended up 5-4. We beat Codner, we beat Cal the Dragon. I'm hoping there are a few, I don't know, highlights, little things. I highly doubt that they're going to upload any sort of videos of us scoring. It's just probably going to be a case of, well, they were calling us cheating bastards and cheating C words on multiple occasions, which I'm not going to disagree with because there were a few things. But then again, they had multiple things where they probably cheated. There's one that they claimed I was offside, and I don't think I was offside at all. But it happens in Sunday League. You just got to get on with it, haven't you? It was a great first game back, and you know what? I always say this when I start playing, but I really have missed just playing football. I just have. And I know I signed for Attenborough like 4 years ago. 3 years ago, and it was a bit dead, so I stopped playing, and then I signed for Hina, and the level was just too high for me. I was so unfit. Like, if I'm fit, then it's fine. The level was probably okay. But I was just unfit, and I still am unfit. So signing for a team with my mates, with people that I like and get on with, and can play football with, and just have a laugh with it, you know, just have a bit of fun. It's just so good. But yeah, 5-4 to Derby Highlanders versus Codner. I'm not going to complain. What a comeback it was. And scoring 2, getting an assist. Martin scored 2. Martin scored 2. I'm still reacting like that because you guys don't know Martin. Maybe one day you'll meet him. Maybe I might do a few TikToks while I'm at football. Just with the lads, just for a bit of bants. So if you want to go follow my TikTok, please do. I might upload a few videos because we're going to have to play Cal the Dragon like twice this season. So that's going to be sick. So if I can get a bit of a viewership on that, then it's going to be like someone commented the other day, Luke the Lizard against fucking Cal the Dragon. No. It's been good and I really enjoy it. Like, I'm buzzing for next week now. But I think I'm at work next weekend, so you might not get one of these next weekend. Also, we're playing against a full deaf team. Don't really know how that's going to work. Don't really know how it's come about, but apparently a few of them have like played for England in their deaf squad. I didn't know they had a deaf squad, but apparently they went on like a training camp in like another country and everything. So weird, a bit strange, I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, but I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Good. Bye.